Hola clase, soy Señora Griffin. This is part 2 of our lesson on mandatos informales. And so we're back again with the two-form commands. And today we're talking about cambios ortográficos. So these are verbs that end in cargar, zar, and ger. They take a spelling change in the negative part. So we'll look at both of those and see what we have to do in spelling to make sure it sounds right. The first verb we have is the verb buscar, to look for. In the affirmative, if I want to say as the mandato, look for your keys, I will say busca las llaves. Remember, that's the indicative. El he usted form is the same as the affirmative mandato for the two form. However, when I have the negative two form and I say don't look for your keys, I'm going to have to change the C to a QU and say no busques las llaves. Don't look for your keys. If I had the CES ending on the negative two form, that would be no busques. I want to have the K sound. So I'll say no busques las llaves. The next verb we have is the one that ends in gar. So out of our verbs cargar and zar, this is jugar. If I want to say play with your little brother, it has a stem change. Juega con tu hermanito as the affirmative command. And then if I say, don't play with your food, no juegues con tu comida. So here, any verb that ends in gar, the negative two form, you're going to have to change that from G to GU to keep that hard G sound. No juegues con tu comida. Anything that ends in zar, like EMPEZAR to begin, you're going to have to also change in the negative two form. If I say, start your homework right now, empieza la tarea ahora mismo, that also has a stem change. But then the stem change plus the change from Z to C, I say no empieces la película ahora. And then our last verb as the example, a verb that ends in ger, G-E-R, like the verb escoger, uno de mis verbos favoritos. Escoge un vestido para prom. Choose a dress for prom. In the negative, if I say, don't choose a spouse yet, you're too young. No escojas un esposo ya. I want to make sure to change the G to a J when it's followed by an A, A-S, to make sure to conserve the H sound. No escojas un esposo ya. So those are spelling changes that are necessary in the negative two form. As a little bit of práctica, when you compare the two types of the affirmative and the negative mandatos, the verb comprar es un verbo normal. So in the affirmative, I would say compra un vestido nuevo, buy a new dress. No compres este vestido, don't buy this dress. So you see here I have different endings, and those two forms are very different. Some of them are sort of irregular, but they still follow our rules. So here we've done our irregular two form, haz la tarea, do the homework, and then no hagas still follows the same rule that we have. We look at for the negative two form affirmative, the command, we look at the yo form, hago, from hacer, and then we take off the O, add the opposite ending, which is as, and we'll have no hagas. There are some in the negative two form that are also irregular. So ir, to go, we have ve for the affirmative, ve al supermercado, go to the supermarket. And then we have no vayas, which is irregular. No vayas is don't go. Ser is also irregular. Ser, to be, if I say simpático, be nice. The negative form will be no seas. I say no seas antipática, don't be mean. That concludes the parte dos for our lesson on mandatos. Gracias.